Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video you're going to have the second part of the best of 3 against JayMMA. If you haven't checked out the first part, then obviously pause this video, go check the other part out. They should have gone live at the same time, and yeah, watch that part first before coming into this one. So this is the third fight of the series. Jay won the first one, I won the second one, and now we're getting into it. So in the first fight I was using Glover Teixeira, and in the second fight I was using Gustafsson, and now I've opted to use Daniel Cormier. And the thought process behind this was, I thought I've been striking enough with him. DC's got really good boxing and really good wrestling. Obviously his kicking game isn't the greatest, and his body health isn't the greatest either, and that is where Jay likes to target, so that may be a weakness. But I thought that if I implemented my wrestling correctly, then the fight could be steered more towards me getting the victory, which is of course what I want. And I don't mind the fight going the distance as long as I fight effectively and safely. I know that I can damage the head health a lot. It's something I had success in both fights prior to this. So yeah, that's something I'm looking to do right now. As you can see, he's hitting me with a spinning kick, gets me in the clinch, throw a couple punches, I clinch and then turn, rotate him to the cage, and this is where I'm going to look to drag him down. So just a quick one. After this gameplay here does finish, there is another gameplay against JayMMA, and it's going to be me facing his Israel Adesanya versus my Jared Cannonier. So if you want, stick around for that. It's a good video. Nothing to do with the best of 3, just a friendly game after. I wanted to test myself against his Izzy. I use Jared quite a lot. I'm very fond of him. Do think he's very underrated. And I know that JayMMA is a good Israel Adesanya player. So I thought, okay, let me ask him, see if we get that footage. I don't know if he's going to upload that gameplay onto his channel, but I do know the best of 3 will be going live on his channel. So yeah, links in the description if you haven't already. Jay's a really cool guy, makes excellent content, excellent player as well. So yeah, go check him out. Subscribe if you're new to his channel. And yeah, so where was I? As I was going to say, was this fight that you're seeing now is the third fight. Won't be uploaded onto Jay's channel, I don't believe, just because the first video is going to be so long. And I understand that, because it took me forever to edit this video, and I know Jay does live commentary, so he can't even skip forward certain aspects of the video. So he's only going to have the first 2 fights. So if you are from Jay's channel checking out the third fight, here it is. Just want to say thank you to you guys for coming over and watching the video, and hopefully you're entertained by this video and the next gameplay that will be the Izzy versus Brunson. So yeah, he gets me into this position here with John Jones when he has him against the cage. It's awful because he just absolutely rips your body with knees. As you can see, Jay accidentally taunted there. He didn't mean to do that. He messaged me literally straight away. It was like, bro, I didn't mean that. And it's cool, it happens. It was just an accident. A fairly good first round for me, I'd say. I'm gonna implement my grappling more so in the rounds to come. As you can see, there's a slight stamina advantage to John Jones right now, and he started off the round the exact same way there as he did in the first, and that's something that I'm going to take a mental note of, and in the third come out and hopefully block that. And he started off the rounds the exact same, and I don't know if it was a habit, but it's something I picked up on, and I'm going to look to take advantage of as it comes. But with DC, obviously it's going to be a bit harder to get on the inside, doing a better job of sidestepping these kicks. But once you are on the inside, he has so much power. I don't know what it is about DC, and his boxing is really crisp. John does have a great chin health, but as you saw in the fight before with Gustafsson, it's only a matter of time. You can whittle away at it, and then eventually you'll get your takedown. So get him to the fence again and drag him down. And the primary reason I wasn't shooting takedowns in the center of the octagon is because right now I'm at a stamina disadvantage. I don't want to shoot him, deny, get those knees to the body with John Jones, and that will just make my stamina even lower. And as I was saying, DC's body health of course isn't the greatest as is already. He manages to reverse the position and get into my full guard here. I believe he was looking to try and get up, so I was waiting here to see. I knew he was going to eventually try and get up, deny, build up GA about 4 or 5 punches, and then flip him straight into half guard. So although he reversed the position, we're now back on top. I'm going to look to get some control time. And one thing I did find that was a bit more difficult, I think, because we're in separate countries and obviously the connection. I think the 9 transitions was that little bit harder I'm not sure if Jay felt this, but I'm assuming if I felt it, he would also feel it. So in terms of grappling, it was a bit harder. I felt like on the feet, there wasn't much of an issue. I felt like everything was okay. As you can see, he managed to get into the sprawl. We rotated, and now we've taken his back here. And here I'm trying to see if he's going to move. Does a good job there of denying that. And I'm just waiting to see what he's going to do. He obviously goes and gets me into his full guards. And right now I'm just whittling away at the clock. Obviously I'm getting the control time, but you need some significant strikes in order to win the round. Obviously the judges score the fight off damage done. And I can see here that he's going for the Kimura quite a lot, and it's a good fake transition to do. It's quite quick, so you can just fake it and get your opponent guessing. But that is something I need to take a mental note of, because I am going to look to be grappling. He does have the stamina advantage. If he denies a transition and then goes for it, I could be in big trouble. And you see he goes for it here, but right now, because of where my stamina's at, I wasn't very worried about this submission attempt. It's just later on in the rounds, this could be a very, very, very dangerous submission, a quick way to lose the fight. So it's something that's now in the back of my mind. I know he's going to fake it quite a lot. As you can see, I'm faking the arm triangle, and I am trying to really move here. As you can see, I'm landing some strikes here, but I'm being very, very patient because I don't want the position to get reversed. Jay's ground game was very, very good, and it was something I didn't expect to be as good. I know on the feet he's a very good player, but his ground game definitely matched his ability on the feet. So I believe we're coming into round 3 right now. You know, fairly close rounds 1 and 2. Don't know how the judges have seen it. I'd say round 2 was more so my way, and I expect the judges to see it like that. As you can see, stamina management in terms of Jay is very high. His stamina's in an ideal position to start round 3, and it's good coming up against the grappler having this stamina, because you can really unload on the feet. And when we get to the ground, you know, he's not going to be too worried about his stamina, because it's in a high position. It's going to be less likely to get submitted and less likely to get finished. So he clinches me here, pushes me towards the fence, do a good job in throwing some hooks back. I've got to be careful with those knees, because obviously Jon Jones' knee is incredibly powerful. And from the last 2 fights, you'll see that he done very good work with those knees, and it caused me a lot of problems. So it's something that I was looking to avoid. Throw a little leg kick in there with DC, because why not? Obviously not going to be the best leg kicker, but Jon's legs are his weak points. So if I can just start throwing them in there every now and then, time them well, do some damage, that may pay off in the long run. And you can see in the boxing exchanges that DC just feels so much faster. When I land, it feels a lot more powerful. We catch the kick here, and then we work a takedown off this. And this is something that I didn't do well in the past 2 fights, and this is a tool I utilize when I play ranked matches all the time. So I thought, you know, I'm using DC, let me start using those. That takedown is so hard to deny, and often or not, you know, people just don't know how to deny it. So I took him to the fence, take him down, and now the fight's in the realm in which I want. He manages to get the sprawl, which is incredibly annoying, because he can just push up. And my thought process by getting up was I didn't want him to deny my transition to get his back, and I also didn't want him to go up and then me not deny it in time and they get some easy knees off in the clinch. So to avoid that damage and potential reversal, I just decided to get up. I know another takedown will come soon. I've just got to, you know, catch one of those knees or one of the roundhouses to the body, and I can work a takedown from that. And as you can see, we catch it here, and then we get the exact same takedown. So the decision making there may seem obscure, but it was all with a thought process in mind of not taking the knees and not getting reversed. As you can see, Jay's doing the right things and building up GA. We land some good elbows there. I'm struggling to deny him getting into the sprawl, and again, I don't know if that was down to connection or maybe Jay is just super good at getting out of there. Do some damage here, and I was trying to maintain my stamina at a decent level so he couldn't just roll out. However, as you can see, he done a good job there and just rolled away, doing some damage here. You can see I was throwing some hefty combinations, but 13 seconds left now of round 3, and this was a pretty dominant round, I'd say. I didn't have too much to worry about overall. It goes for an acrobatic kick at the end there, and we get the last hook in. So yeah, I'd say that was a very good round, to be honest. That's a clean round. It's exactly how I wanted it to go, and that's exactly how I want this round here to go. My stamina's draining there, as you can see, quite a bit faster than Jon Jones is. Jay's kept his stamina at a very, very good level. And I'm not sure if that's just because his strike rate wasn't as much as the other fights, because obviously we were just sort of standing and slugging it out. Whereas this fight, obviously the threat of the wrestling is there. He hits me with the flying knee, then goes for the knee. I don't go for the takedown because obviously I know he's expecting it, so I just punch. I'm against the cage here, but I'm not too worried because I can clinch and then turn him into it. Good head movement there to avoid the jab. And again, I'm just being patient. I don't want to get hit with any of those kicks, and he went for that helicopter kick. If that landed, that definitely would have stunned me. Drag him to the fence, go to take his back, I believe, go for a takedown, does a great job denying. That absolutely zaps my stamina, which isn't ideal. I was going to chain wrestle there and shoot for a takedown, but just because my stamina was so low, I didn't want to end up in a position where he could go for a submission and then submit me, because I was having real difficulties in denying his transitions. And we get the knockdown here, so that's big. Get the knockdown and then get the takedown straight away from that. This was absolutely crucial for this round, because that knockdown secured me the round, and then the takedown here, I can look to rack up some control time. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So he goes for the transition into sprawl here, in which we deny. I had to pre-deny that so hard because I was struggling to get off some denies. We're then into side control, which is, again, it's an extremely dominant position. Can land some elbows, and right here, that's what it's all about. It's just about landing some elbows, maybe building up some GA and getting into crucifix, because I'm having a real tough time in denying these transitions, and I want to get his stamina low enough for me to go for a submission attempt, but obviously he's cautious to that. He knows what's going on, so he's keeping his stamina in a good position. He reverses the position here, which isn't ideal for me, of course. And oh yeah, this is exactly what happens here. So he reversed the position, and then something happened with his controller in which it didn't allow him to move. He dropped me a message, I think, just as we stood up, to say like, oh bro, like my controller isn't working, I can't move. And this was extremely unfortunate for him, because obviously, yeah, he's getting the control time, but he could have done a lot more damage here. Could have gone to crucifix, the top mount, and yeah, that did kind of ruin that for him, which is extremely unfortunate. I'm just happy that it happened whilst he was on top of me and not me on the bottom, because then I would have been throwing strikes not knowing that, you know, he wasn't playing. Of course that victory wouldn't have counted, would have played again. But this is why here you'll see that I'm not moving. I think I move a little bit forward and a little bit back. I'm just waiting from the go ahead from Jay that he's back in the fight. And you can see I move towards him here. I'm just waiting, then I step back. And yeah, so right now his controller is disconnected, and it's at this time I just want to say thank you for all the support that I've been getting on the content as of recently. I think I'm at around 170 subscribers, which is massive. Hopefully to hit 200 soon. Yeah, any content suggestions, as always, let me know in the comments below. The next video out should be a Brock Lesnar. Yeah, should be a Brock Lesnar video, as a subscriber requested. I've got a Kevin Holland video, a Brian Ortega video. I've got a lot of videos in the works, so yeah, any content or any YouTubers you'd like to see me fight, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to set that up. I really want to try to fight GOAT in a best of 3, just because I think he's the best player on the game, and I just want to show you guys the levels, like the difference between you know, an average player like me and someone like GOAT, who's just the best of the best. I also would love to get one maybe with Pryor, obviously Marshall, but like I said, those guys have a lot of subscribers, and you know, they're very busy in their own right, so hopefully one day we can get those games out. And yeah, into the final round, and I think I've had, you know, a pretty clear-cut dominant performance in terms of the judges. I think they got to see that, you know, the wrestling was the main thing here. Get him down to the ground, throw a little elbow here, and I'm waiting to deny. We finally get a deny off, and normally I'm so good at denying in these positions, but I don't know what it was. I just wasn't having my way in terms of denial. So throwing some elbows there, and you can see that the head health on John right now is very, very low. Tried to get into the crucifix, but Jay was smart to deny it. And yeah, I'm just gonna work like I've been doing across the other rounds. Just work here, little punches here and there, and just look to really get the icing on the cake. See, his head health's quite low, so I was going to look to tee off there and explode on the ground and pound, but I don't want to get reversed. Obviously John Jones has great reversals, and I've also got to watch the threat of the Kimura, because as you can see, there is still a stamina difference there. I've got to be very, very careful, and I'm playing it a bit safe here. in this round. I'm waiting, I want to try advance, but he's just been denying everything. It's been very hard. As you can see, try to advance there, goes for the Kimura. I was wise to it, so I got the deny. And it's little things like that that keep the little movements, keep the referee from standing you up quicker. Eventually he does stand us up, which is the right thing to do. I couldn't pass guard and no damage was really being dealt. And now that we're back on the feet, I think Jay at this point knows he needs a finish. Goes for the knee there, deny. Uppercut breaks through the block, go to the body. As you see, I'm still being patient. I was trying to get him to sway back and catch him with the straight. He hits me to the body there, which does a good amount of damage. Goes to the body again. Deny there, the switch kick. And he's really isolating and targeting that body because he knows that's the weakness right now, is that if he unloads and gets it all, then he should be able to get the finish. So catch the kick, rotate, take him to the cage, get the double leg straight into side control, which again was crucial. Just wastes away the clock. It's another takedown. It looks better on the judge's eye. So he manages to get to sprawl straight away, which is actually exactly what he needs. And for some reason, I don't know what came over me, I decided to get up there, and it just puts me in a more dangerous position. He goes for that spinning helicopter attack, doesn't get it. Knee, we catch, and I should have gone for a takedown there just to delay the clock even more. The knee hits, and then flying knee hits, and yeah, I was in trouble there for those last few seconds. If he had a bit longer, then maybe I would have been in some serious trouble, but fortunately I wasn't. And now it's going to the judges' scorecards, and let me know how you would have scored this fight. I did feel confident leading into the judges' decisions. I did think I'd done enough to win the fight. I can't remember the exact scorecards. Obviously they're announcing it now to you guys, but I couldn't hear it, and I do show the scorecards at the end here. But I do end up winning, which means that I win the best of 3, 2-1, just like our first best of 3. So shout out to JayMMA, great best of 3. We're clearly very much on the same wavelength when it comes to fighting, because we keep going to these decisions and into the late rounds. So very evenly matched. Our record stands now at 4-2 coming into this Adesanya gameplay against Jared Cannonier. So coming up against Izzy, obviously 5-star fighter, best fighter in the world when it comes to the middleweights. And yeah, he started off the fight with the same combination. He starts with John Jones, where he punches, pushes you back with the kick, and then goes for the switch kick, which is something I noticed. And I've got to be very careful here. I'm very confident with Jared, but you know, Izzy's got a wide range of tools in which he can end the fight with. So I'm sort of studying, seeing how Jay's going to approach this fight. And again, it's the same thing with John. He's really looking to work the body, and I don't have to be worried about the threat of the takedown, because obviously Izzy isn't going to take me down. At least if he did, I'd be very surprised. And Jay started off with a extremely high output here, and I'm not going to match that just because I don't need to with Jared. With Jared, what I'm aiming to do is obviously take out Jay's leg. That's the main thing. And I'm looking to check the kicks that he does throw. And when it comes into the boxing exchanges, although Izzy does have the power, I feel like because his arms are so long and the speed doesn't really come across that well, and Jared has an insane amount of power, so all it takes is one. And you can see that both our leg healths are going down considerably, but I've expected this is exactly what I want. I am going to look to take out Jay's legs here. That was the game plan going into this, and catch him hopefully with a powerful punch, because Jared's punches are so strong, and I do believe he's extremely underrated on the game. Not a lot of people use him, and again, I'm not sure why. Jay's switching to these oblique kicks here, and then he goes back to a regular calf kick, and I'm sort of letting him have his way right now. I'm letting him throw as much as he wants. I'm being very patient. As you can see, he's taking control of the fight. That head kick would have been beautiful if that landed flush, but unfortunately it didn't. And you can see I'm just targeting the legs, I'm letting him walk me down. I'm being very comfortable. I'm blocking a vast majority of the strikes. I'm not too worried about the damage it's doing. I'm throwing leg kicks within the boxing range. And like I said, I'm just waiting. I'm just going to be patient. He catches the roundhouse to the body there, throws the oblique. I'm switching stances here and there just to try to give him a different look. But this is the main thing when you're coming up against a very pressure heavy Israel Adesanya, you've just got to be patient. The opportunity will come, especially if you're using someone with a lot of power like Cannonier. And you'll see that throughout this fight that I think Jay does have most of the significant strikes. Like, he'll have a lot of significant strikes per round, and mine won't be nowhere near that. They'll just be maybe even half. It's just me being extremely patient and throwing little strikes here and there. But these checks are going to start paying real dividends as the fight goes on. So I catch the kick, turn him, throw a little combo there, go to throw the leg kick, and he hits me with that, and we end the round like that. So it was a pretty good round for Jay. Very high output, very high volume, and me, I was more so just relaxed, waiting, trying to pick my shots. You can see I am landing the leg kicks, and I'm checking the leg kicks as well, and that's vital. When you're facing someone that wants to use leg kicks, you've got to check the leg kicks, because that's what will deter them from throwing them. And I'm more than comfortable with Israel throwing these leg kicks at me. Beautiful combination there with the question mark kick. As you can see, I go to throw a leg kick, I'm out of range. He catches me again to my head. So he's been going low, and now he's starting to go high. He's really starting to mix it up, and he's doing this to be obviously unpredictable. And my leg health is slowly going down. As you can see, it's not in the greatest of positions, but again, I'm not going to let that deter me, because I know it's in a bad position, but I'm just waiting for him to throw these kicks so I can check them. Great lead question mark kick there. That caught me by surprise. I didn't expect him to throw that. Again, I am blocking a lot of these strikes, and now he's starting to throw the knees, which really were hurting me when he was using John Jones in the best of 3, in which we did. Check that leg kick. And although one of my legs is in a terrible position, the other's in an okay position, whereas both of Izzy's legs now are starting to get into a position where, you know, a couple kicks land and it might start to result in knockdowns. At the bare minimum, it will result in leg health events. So I'm whittling away, I'm chipping away slowly but surely. And again, there's that check. So I'm starting to deter Jay from throwing these leg kicks. He's had to switch stance here, and it's going exactly as planned. Obviously, I am taking damage, which is to be expected. I'm coming up against Israel. I'm going to get hurt, and I'm going to get hit with a lot of good clean shots. Jay's obviously very well versed with using Israel Adesanya, and it was only after the fact that he told me he hasn't used Israel in ages, because he's been so focused on using Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. So hopefully I can get another matchup once he starts using Izzy again, and gets more comfortable with him. Because obviously when you use a fighter for so long, like he's dedicated a series to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in which he masters him. When you use a fighter for so long, you sort of forget how to use all the other fighters. So hopefully I can catch him when he starts reusing Izzy, or even play against his Wonderboy. That would be really good. Get some more games in with Jay, some more sparring, because this is how you better yourself. So when you go into these online ranked matches, you know, whoever you come across against will have a very difficult time. And right now, I think it's his left leg is completely gone. Basically, it's virtually done. His other leg isn't in the best position, and you notice as soon as he switches stance, I cracked him there, just to let him know that, look, I know that leg's hurting, and I'm gonna throw it. If you switch stance, you're gonna get punished for it. And there you go, there's that leg gone. And the best thing about leg kicks is, of course, that once they build up to a point where, you know, the player can't handle it, not only does it result in easy knockdowns, but it also results in a power mitigation. So easy strikes will not have that pop, that sting that they usually do, which is crucial because it saves me from taking damage. So his hands are going to be a lot slower, and he's just compromised. It's an easier target now, and like I said, you can see that I'm not throwing anywhere near the volume or output that Jay is. I'm sort of taking a step back and letting him throw as much as he wants, but when I am throwing, it's hurting. When I catch that leg, it hurts. And there you go. As soon as we started this round, bang, crack. Just to let him know that, look, you know, I know that if you switch this leg, I'm going to take it. So I'm going to really look to eat that leg. And it's going to cause Jay problems, because this other leg isn't in the greatest position either. And now I've got 3 potential rounds to work the other leg if it goes the distance. And that's exactly what I'm going to look to do. And Jay's been a lot more aggressive here, as you can see. Really ripping the boxing, not focusing as much on the kicking, and that's just because obviously his legs hurt. Lands a nice body kick there, but I'm just going to be patient here. My stamina's in a good level, which it hasn't been in the other fights, and I'm now deterring him from throwing strikes with that leg, especially leg kicks. And when you use Israel Adesanya, that's such a big part of the game plan, is to throw leg kicks, is to use your range, keep that distance, and then throw them kicks and really deter your opponent from stepping in. And the best time to throw the leg kicks is obviously when you're planted, because you throw them a lot faster. And if your opponent's planted, I believe it does a lot more damage. So we go up high because we've been going down low. And this is where you're going to see the power of Jared Cannonier really start to shine through. He lands a beautiful flying knee there, and that's something that, you know, is a stable piece in JayMMA's toolkit, if you like. He loves that flying knee. It always seems to land. It caused me problems in the best of 3, and it's landed there now. So it's something I've got to keep note of. As you can see, he's not at all going to the legs here now. It's really deterred him. He knows that one check could really ruin it. And as you can see, he threw the lead leg oblique kick, right? And that's because if you dodge the oblique kick, it's not going to do any damage because he's not getting checked, right? He threw the leg kick there, and I was like, okay, he's going to start getting a bit more confident of throwing them. So I've just got to have one check, and it will deter it straight away. So he's faking low to go high. He goes high indeed and catches me with the front kick, which was, you know, it was clean. It's exactly what he needed to do. As you can see, he's throwing a lot of volume still, a lot of volume. Nowhere near as much leg kicks, but the volume is still there for Jay. So I've just got to be patient. I know that the opportunity will arise. I'm starting to break through the block a bit easier. As you can see, he lands a good few knees there. And his other leg is also not in a great position now. So I'm just waiting. As you can see, my leg health for someone that's been kicking is in a fairly good position. Obviously, I think Jared Cannonier has the perk in which where you throw leg kicks that I think it still checks that when you block them it does more damage to your opponent. If he doesn't, he definitely should, because that's what it felt like. It felt like every time I checked a leg kick, it just do sort of irreversible damage to Israel Adesanya's legs. And as you can see, broke through the block there, caught the kick, circled him away. 1-2, go to the leg. And yeah, coming into the next round, I'd say I'm in a very good position. The leg kicks have paid real dividends. As you can see, knocking him down there, and it's something that I'm going to look to build off of this round. It's set a solid foundation in order for me to win, and that's exactly what you've got to do. This is how you've got to use Jared Cannonier. And normally I show videos of Jared against, you know, someone like a wrestler. Both show respect there, but yeah, normally I show videos of Jared against a wrestler to how to deal with obviously the wrestling, because when people come up against Jared, it's the same as Izzy. They're going to look to take them down. But this is against a striker, so it's two people that are just standing the whole time, whittling away at each other. And as you can see, the power shining through in the fourth here with the hands, and the legs and head health of Izzy in a terrible position. So he goes for the flying knee, and we land the straight. Bang, we're starting to get these stuns here, and I'm still going to the leg. I'm sticking to the game plan. I don't deviate. Even though I'm having success with the hands, you can see that I'm filtering in the attacks. I haven't really focused so much on the body as we blocked the knee there. I've really focused on the head and the legs of Izzy. And there you can see that no matter which stance he switches to now, it's going to be a real nightmare for him to stay up on his feet. His movements, of course, going to be compromised because his shins are basically, and his calves are screaming. They're in a real bad position here. And Jay's still persevering. He's still moving forwards. You can see he's starting to check these leg kicks, and he's not giving up at all. And this is exactly what he has to do. He has to go out. He can't point fight now. I think it's a bit too late for that. He has to really look to get this finish. And of course, when you go to do that, you will take some more damage, and you know, you're putting risks out there. And got the knockdown there. Again, he's going to the body. Now he's trying to go high. He's still trying to mix it up, still trying to get me out of there, doing the best that he can with the tools that he has in order to finish the fight. But right now, I'd say I'm in the driving seat. I'm in a great position here. As you can see, he lands the kick to the body, but I'm not too worried. And that was out of the blue. I did not expect that. He went for it twice, thinking I'd lower my hands, and he goes to the head again. And he could have finished me there had I not blocked that. I genuinely think he could have finished me. It was unexpected, and that's what happens when you face high level players. They catch you unexpectedly. So get the knockdown again, let him up. He's against the cage. Drop him here. Go for the finish. And I think I get up here, yeah. I get up there, let him back up. Bang, go to the leg. He pushes me back here. And I'm waiting. Break through the block. He drops. And I think the fight is over fairly soon. I think I crack him with a beautiful uppercut, and that's the fight finish. So that's the bonus fight with me and Jay coming up against Izzy. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, once again, thank you to Jay. Really good guy, really cool guy, great content. Please check out his channel. It is in the description. If there's any other content creators you'd like to see me fight, let me know in the comments below and I'll try to set that up. Any content suggestions, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you are new for more UFC 4 content. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.